What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 248 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Solozo. Today's going to be a lot of fun. We have a great guest. We're going to be talking about something we don't typically talk about. I'm personally really excited because I currently only sell in the U.S. marketplace. I've talked a lot about trying to expand. There's challenges. Obviously, I only speak English. So we're going to be talking about listing localization and optimization, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other things we're going to dive into. But joining me today to talk about all these things is Omar Angri from Margin Business. What's up, Omar?
How y'all doing? Everything is perfect, really good. Really, thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy we can talk about a lot of things today.
Oh yeah, I am too. And we've been talking for a few minutes before we went live, and
Exactly.
I can tell you love it. You got energy, passion. You love the space. You guys are clearly doing great work over there at Margin Business. So I'm excited to dive into it, and then just to help educate all the listeners on what it's like moving to international marketplaces. What they have to do, localizing a listing. I think it's super critical. I mean, you can't just translate it. You can't go to Google Translate and get away with it. Or use it. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot we want to talk about there. But I want to start by getting a little background on you. How did you get into e-commerce in the first place? What made you want to start Margin Business and help other sellers? I'll give you the floor. Let's hear your story.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's been 10 years we are in the space actually. So we started pretty early in the Wild West times. Unfortunately, we didn't really know there was the Wild West times, but we really dived right into it. By one of the larger sellers we were working with, or we're still working with, they asked us, "Can you do please some translation for us?" They were still small because they wanted to move from the UK into the European, the rest of the European market. So we said, "Okay, no problem." At that time, we still did it on ourselves because I'm German. So we did it on our own, and the co-founder Emily is French. So we took these two languages, and Spanish and Italian came with it, and we grew with it, and we understood that not only to translate it as well to localize it means to really culturally understand your customer, to go so deep that that if he goes through the funnel. Like you have a funnel, he goes through, and at the end, your customer comes out so perfectly. You don't have to talk to a bunch of people. You really talk to one type of people who really want to buy a product, and which is special. And he understands that this is a product this listing is written by a native speaker. So he really can identify themselves with them. So along the way, we helped many sellers, mostly mid to larger companies, mid-sized to larger Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers in general. We as well help outside of Amazon, but I mean, Amazon is really our place, the European Union. So this is how Margin Business came into place, and now we have around 20 employees. And we're still here, and we're loving the space, and we're looking forward to be many more years around.
Absolutely. Well, it is a fun space. And were you selling on Amazon yourself, or currently previous to this? Or
no, I was not selling. Unfortunately, I never got to it. I always only helped sellers directly. I mean, we took projects like we literally sold ourselves. So we got the whole project on us, from photo. From receiving the samples, literally we put them on Amazon, we put the photos on it, we took the PPC, we sold ourselves, yes, but like that it is our own account, no.
Right. But I mean, what a many years of experience of doing this, because I mean, Amazon is, like you said, it was the Wild West back then, for sure. And
oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's when I launched my business in 2014. I was doing a lot of things you can't do today, for sure. It was much easier. It was easier in certain aspects, but it's also gotten easier to do other things, like international expansion is easier today in some regard than it was. I mean, there's services like yours out there that help out. I mean, there's services that can help you open up all the international accounts and get all the taxes set up and
definitely.
and all of that. I mean, that's why I haven't done it yet, because it seemed overwhelming amount, and I was really focused on US. But I am looking to expand, and I think that the most difficult part is you can't shortcut that expansion. Like you were talking about, I can speak to a consumer in the United States about a product that I know, I understand the nuances of the language to describe a product. But localization is super important. I mean, I remember it was a while ago. I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were talking about like a pancake, like a griddle for pancakes was a product. And it was funny. They were going through every country that even spoke the same language, and they called that a different name. It wasn't the same word for pancake or the same word for griddle. And some countries used griddles for different foods. So it's like the localization part is really important to get that conversion rate up on your product to make sure it's selling and hitting the audience. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. So somebody, let's say I come to you and I'm like, look, okay, I'm ready to expand into the EU, UK, EU. Where do you guys start with the listings? I mean, you're just how are you guys operating to make sure that those listings are optimized exactly as they need for a certain country or location?
Okay, first of all, if it comes from the US, we would always recommend to either begin with Germany or the UK. But let me just go one step back when you talked about the US, because even in the US, you cannot have different listings in the US. I mean, like localization is not possible. But if you look at Seattle and if you look at Florida, I'm sure there is a big difference already. I even think they should maybe cut it somehow, because for seasonal products and all that stuff makes maybe sense in the United States as well, because even there the localization begins already. And I'm giving always this example to prepare actually the audience that not only when you go in other countries there's localization, it's already starting in your own country, because people will use strange words maybe 3,000 kilometers away in the United States on the other side of on the East Coast or West Coast or from up, down. So it's there beginning already. Okay, just a little word about that. So when you move from the US into the UK, we already beginning. We have different wordings. We have different keywords, because I've seen many sellers coming over, taking the same listings in the US and they're trying to rank, but it's not possible. Mm-hmm. So you need to change keywords and you need to localize the listings. So localization means to really speak to them like a person from the UK, for example, or like a person from Germany. And so the best would be always to go to the UK first. We take the product, we look at it. We work with Helium 10 or Zone Guru in order to understand if the product is sellable in the European Union, if the seller didn't do his research already. So we look at it, we pull the reports, and we tell them, listen, to the seller, this is possible, or this will be a little bit harder. If the seller still want to go for it, okay. We would even say which country would be the best to sell it, and which country maybe not to do the listing, because it would take budget out of the customer. Because at the end, we are not artists. We're technicians, so mm-hmm. It's not just that the listing looks beautiful, it really works. So we're really doing something there to make the listing a rank, so that you make money with it. It's not just like throw money in a bucket. So we really want the customer to make money, and we are all here for that. And some people say, no, I'm not here for the money, but yes, for sure you're here for the money. It's like that.
Yeah. So you're consulting as well. I mean, you would tell me, no, don't do this product in this marketplace, or the numbers don't line up. You're really involved in the whole process, not just translating the listing and making it as best.
Yes, exactly.
You're helping me determine. because there's a lot of products, this is a pretty obvious one, but I was talking to someone that this happened to. They had it, it was the wrong plug. It was an electronic thing, and they were trying to sell it in a marketplace where the outlets don't accept that plug. So they're like, that's, you would want to know that ahead of time, and that's pretty obvious. But there's a lot of other things like that, especially in the electronic space. I mean, you can't sell the same product everywhere. It has to be redesigned or repackaged for certain marketplaces. So that would be good to know up front for sure.
Sure.
One other thing I want to touch on, because you were talking about the US and how that you could localize there. I mean, in the US, there's more than one language that gets spoken in the US. I mean, Spanish is huge. There is like 80 million Spanish speakers in the US. So even making sure that your listing is optimized so that when it's translated, looks right in Spanish. Is that something that you guys do as well?
Yes, definitely. You mean like, there's two languages, for example, in the US. So what I know is that people optimize because we don't operate actually in the US, only sometimes. Mm-hmm. But what I know is when we're in the US, we put Spanish keywords, for example,
exactly
into the listings, So, and maybe even into the text if it makes sense. Obviously, sure. If it don't make sense, you don't do that. So yes, this is definitely something we do as well. Yes.
Yeah, because it was the issue was, you can click on Amazon.com where you can translate it to Spanish, and a lot of times when
this is what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times when it's translated, it becomes gibberish in Spanish.
Yes. Understand. Yeah.
So it's okay. Making sure that the way that your listing is translated is readable or targets the customer. But yeah, that's just another thing for people to think about is, yes, you might be selling in the US, but like you said, it's a huge country, and there's a lot of localization that can happen inside here as well. Okay, so going back to the EU and getting things set up. So I come to you, everything goes right, your analytics look good. I can proceed and sell this product, let's say in the UK. Now you guys get to work. You start really localizing that listing. What does that process look like? How long does it take usually? What are you really doing?
Okay, normally depends on the countries. I mean, how many countries you go for? If you go for our 7 countries, what we have at the moment, we have Germany, we have UK. Anymore, but I always count them with them. You have UK, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Sweden, Poland, and the Netherlands. I think I said it already, but anyway. So these are the countries we would go for. So firstly, we would go into Germany, check if everything is okay, the product can be sold. If this is the case, we would give the proposition to the customer. The customer says, okay, let's go for all countries, or we go for the main 4 countries. This is as well an option what many do. So they don't want to go into this new markets, which I always emphasize. If you have the budget, go for the new markets. You will be early and you will be making money on the long term, because what we do is the long game. We don't. If you don't have anything to invest for the long game, it's going to be hard. So what we do then, we begin to translate the text, localize the text, put the keywords inside, and then we give it back to the customer. And we have a tool for that, which is called the margin tool, which only our customer get for free. And they can go in there, they can check what we're doing, how far we are with the listings. And once they're done, they can download it into Excel and can then upload it into Amazon. The process usually for, let's say if we get 10 listings, into 7 languages would be 70 listings. That would be done in 10 to 15 days, not more.
So it's not long. That's a quick turnaround for 70 listings. That's
definitely.
That's a lot of work. Now, what are you seeing in terms of impact? So the clients that you're working with, they've localized their listings. I guess there's probably 2 buckets of people. There's probably people that are currently selling in those marketplaces and it's not working well. So
Exactly.
they're looking to optimize it. So let's talk about somebody like that first. So after localizing the listing, what kind of impact are they seeing in their sales, their ranking, everything else on the new marketplace?
Okay, what we always have to put into consideration at the same time when we do the listing, we like to either take over the PPC or we ask the customer if he can go for the PPC himself. We would provide the keywords for that, but they have to know what they are doing.
Sure.
So this is the first thing. But if we take it alone, I would say it's always around 20 to 30% in revenue, which goes up once we are on the listings.
That's a lot of money.
That's definitely a lot of money, you know, because we, like I said, we play long term. I mean, it's not immediately, but if you look the curve over maybe 2-3 months, you will definitely see the increase of the organic ranking, because this is organic. Okay, imagine once you connect the PPC again to these keywords, what we have in the text, and you really put money into PPC, because I don't talk about a few hundred, I talk about real money.
Right.
Then we will see the complete destroy your competition. Actually, you know, it's just like that, because they don't play with these. Most of these of the other of your competitors don't play these games in the European Union. So they put their listings in because they're all on a budget. Most of them. I mean, even if you have large sellers from China, from India, from Southeast Asia, they come in with large amounts of merchandise money, but they don't spend in these type of categories, which means you can even beat them if you do it right, with a good budget and a good team which can consult you as well in what you do, and that you do it correctly in these marketplaces, you know, because there's the opportunity is so big. It's like US. You can make the same revenue as in the US if you do it correctly, you know.
Yeah.
Although
absolutely.
you have to invest before, you know, but at the end, long term, definitely you would make the same.
100%. And that's what anybody who's selling in the US, they invested that same kind of time and energy into their US. I mean, they're trying to make the best pictures, get their listing completely optimized. So thinking that you can just launch in Europe and not put in the same amount of time to localize it and get it to the customer is crazy. But if you, at the flip side is, if you're looking to expand your market share, or you expand, your revenue, what's easier, taking an existing product that currently works really well in the US and launching it in other marketplaces, or going through the whole process of trying to source and launch a brand new product in the US? There's gonna be a lot more time in that, as opposed to expanding into international marketplaces. Definitely. Which is why I'm excited about getting started on that, because the other thing I think a lot of people may not realize, but your reviews transfer, right?
Exactly. It's just I mean, it's perfect, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you've got a product that's got thousands of reviews in the United States and you launch it, day one, it's got thousands of reviews in UK or Germany or wherever, which that's a huge advantage on launching. And you're launching in a marketplace that's less saturated, lower competition. It may not have the sales volume as the US, but it's going to be a good additional sales velocity for sure. And then if you take all of Europe as a whole, it's probably equivalent to the United States.
Definitely. But you know, there is always I would not even say a flip side. I would say it's kind of you need to pay before you can receive. Okay.
Sure.
So, and this is, I mean, in the US, you would even pay, I don't know how much more, you know, here we talk about a fraction. The PPC is not expensive in the European Union. So if you launch your product in the European Union, you have to pay VAT, you have to, the ORI number, you know, you might have to look at a warehouse because of all the regulation of the shipments and the stock. There's a few things you have to see, and if you go for all countries in one go, listing optimization as well, then you might have looking at a budget, you know. But you know, you need to put in the budget in order to get it out. It's really worth it. And I can see so many people coming into the European Union right now and really paving the way for the future, for the long term. So they really want to be established there. We talk about company creation in the European Union. We talk about everything settled over there, even maybe teams in the warehouses which coming over. So it's really getting serious here.
Yeah, so much opportunity. There's no question. Let's talk about just Amazon itself in the presence it has in those different marketplaces. Do you see that growing? Like, what's the biggest marketplace right now in the EU, or what are the two top?
Okay, the two top is definitely Germany and the UK.
Okay.
So if you begin sell there, definitely it's already a lot. And if you can sell in the others, is even better. But these are the main marketplaces where you want to really to begin and be stable in and take the competition out. This is definitely the marketplaces right now. If I can just mention, if you go, for example, right now to the UAE, it's a big opportunity because I think I have never seen products arriving at your door within 5 hours of ordering. I don't know if this exists in the U. Yes, I don't know if this exists in. Yes, I don't know if this exists in the US, but if we order here, it's like 5 hours later you have your coffee. It's just insane. It's and I just wanted to mention that because that's outside of the European Union. So definitely the UAE is something to look at on the long term as well. The next, I think, like next 3 years will be booming here as well for the Amazon or e-commerce market in general, because they're super advanced and they have such a advantage and processes in place that it's impossible for the European countries even to catch up in a few years' time.
So you really see growth in the UAE marketplace?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And the KSA as well, Saudi Arabia as well.
Interesting. So you're there. I mean, you're in Dubai right now. And
yes.
So is that where the majority of e-commerce shopping is happening, is on Amazon? Is there competitors in that space as well? Or is it majority Amazon?
There is competitors, and there is malls. There is so many malls, it's impossible. But the online shopping is getting so fast and so big right now that there is products that you only buy online. For example, there's products you buy offline, but there is products you buy online, and these are products for everyday life, for example, or even a leisure like phones or anything that you want right now, you tick and it comes. It's completely insane.
5 hour delivery.
Yes, that's the fastest that I've seen so far.
That's amazing. Now, another aspect of this would be the price point you can set your products at.
Yes.
So in the US, it's an affluent country, prices, but there's so much competition that a lot of times if you're in a crowded niche, you're having to really lower your prices to compete. But Germany, UK, UAE, those are also very affluent countries. People spend a lot of money there.
Yes.
Are you seeing that people can charge more in other marketplaces than they could maybe in the US and generate the same sales?
I'm always on that side for saying that don't try to price your product cheaply,
right?
Because then there's a mistake somewhere. If you begin to, I know there is, you have to look at the pricing and everything. But for me, it's like if your product is not like a premium, it needs to be sold at a premium. So in order to really cover your costs, have an impact on the customer, because customers might right now even say, oh, look, this is very cheap. Why is it so cheap? I'm going to buy like $2 more from the other. So I'm really on that side, leaning more on that side that I see that customers even pay a premium when they're shopping online right now.
Well, and that brings your services in, how important it is to localize it, because if you really speak directly to the customer, they know exactly what they're getting, and then it justifies a premium price, and they're going to want to do that product over another one for sure. What about images? Do you do anything with the images, or is it all text? I mean, is there anything that somebody would need to do to localize their pictures, or could you use the same pictures, or is that really important?
It's really important that if you got pictures, for example, from the US, you adapt it to the European Union. Now, there is not too many products where, for example, you have to change the pictures within the European Union. But definitely you need to change the text. You might not need to change the pictures of the product itself. Maybe to do a little bit of differences, adapted to the European sellers, because obviously what works, what works sells, for others. What sells works, sorry about that. So yes, definitely you should look at the pictures. If there is a need to change the pictures, because sometimes you have the Italians, they like more very 100% perfect pictures, while in Germany you have a lot of lifestyle pictures. So if you want to go that deep, you as well can change it if you really want to, and we would as well advise you on that if this is necessary or not. Obviously, it's a question of budget as well. Normally, we change only the text, actually.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I was just curious, if you've got lifestyle photos with people in there using the product.
Exactly.
If their clothes they're wearing is, not localized, or
yes,
or if the scenery, it's not localized, in the background, maybe you'd want to look like that product is being used in that area that you're at. I would think that would be important as well in terms of localizing a listing.
Definitely. If you go that far, then it's you can really even funnel the customer even better. So you have a real direct approach to them, especially in countries like the UAE or in Saudi Arabia. You can really define the customer on the pictures as well, so that they see themselves with the product, and that they don't see another culture on the products. They see their own culture on the product. This is as well this is the localization that everyone wants right now, because customers are getting, I'm sorry to say, but spoiled. Like myself, when I buy on Amazon, I'm spoiled. I want that what I want. I want something where I have already the image in my head, But if this image is destroyed, I might not buy. So I'm taking myself always at the best example, because I'm a very good customer from Amazon myself. So it's like that. It's yeah,
absolutely. And so if I were to work with you, is this like a one-off deal where I'm coming to you and you're optimizing the listing and then we're done, or is there more to it? Are we checking it? Are we updating it or editing it as we move forward?
Yes, for at the beginning we would do it. We would leave it in running as well, the PPC aside. And then with time, for example, after 3 months, we would look at the keywords again. What happened? Maybe something needs to be changed. Maybe close to Q4, we have to change a little bit of the keywords inside and then take them out again. There is things like that as well. There's packages for that where we can follow up with you. So for us, it's not like you give the project to us and then that's it. Afterwards, we're done. Nothing will be done anymore. No, we really like to follow up. We like the feedback. We like to see how much you get up, in order for us to understand what we can improve and where we can improve our services and what we can do better next time. So definitely, it's not done with one time. It goes on, and if you wish, you can as well subscribe for an update that we can check the keyword all the time.
Just to kind of wrap it up, do you have any crazy stories or case studies of something that, it was a product and it's like how drastically it had to be changed to present it to another marketplace, or anything that sticks out in your mind like that?
I have always a story from some. This is somebody actually I spoke with, and she explained to me that a customer came to her, and it was for the was a listing for the UAE. They sold grills, as far as I understood. And in these pictures, there were a normal American family, and they didn't sell. So she told them, listen, just try to change the colors to the country. Sorry, the clothes to the country, and the family sitting around the grill, and in traditional clothes and everything. And the product went off like crazy. So this is something just from photos. We didn't even talk about the listing or optimization or anything of that kind. It's really only about this. And as well for our customers, the first time when we work with them, when we began on the listings to optimize them and to translate them, they went off really, really good in all countries. Like it's not only for the customers, as well for Amazon's algorithm, and for Amazon to see, oh look, they really the algorithm must be so intelligent right now that he sees, or even already before that, he sees actually that this listing is really something. Okay, I need to push that listing because I can see the keywords that are inside there are correct. The pictures are incorrect and in line. So I really can do something with that listings, and people looking at it, people like it, people buy it. So I need to promote it, So yes.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people are watching and listening right now. They might be currently selling in the EU or looking into it. This is really piquing their interest. If you're gonna do this, you might as well do it the right way, right off the bat.
Oh, definitely.
And translating and writing copy to a native speaker is not going to be in everybody's wheelhouse, and they need help. So I know they're very interested, and they want to reach out to you. So talk about how they can contact you, how they can start working with you, and what that process looks like.
Okay, first of all, I'm always open for a talk. You just send me an email, omar@marginbusiness.com. Normally, who's in the space knows I'm a lot on LinkedIn. My profile is there as well, or the company profile, Margin Business, is there as well. So just have a look, contact me. I'm happy to explain how the process could go, what we can do for you that you want to sell more, or if you want to sell in other locations in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, or in the European Union, where we are really focused on at the moment. Just send me an email, and I can help you with that and explain the process, how we can go further.
Awesome. I encourage everyone to do that. Go check them out, marginbusiness.com. Your website's great, by the way. Looks really good. Got a lot of information on there. Nice video, little intro video of you on there. So everyone go check them out. If you're interested in launching or revamping in the EU, Omar and Margin Business can take care of you. This has been fun, man. I really appreciate the insights. I know this is helpful for a lot of people, just in understanding and maybe why their product's not working as well in the EU. So I really appreciate your time. It's been a blast. We'll get you back on in the future too, to talk about all, you guys do a lot more than just this as well. And we talk about a lot of how things are changing, what new marketplaces are coming on. There's a lot. It's a always changing space. So
Belgium is on right now as well. Sorry, I forgot Belgium. I'm so sorry about that.
It's fun to watch this. I mean, it's just like every time that's opportunity. Yes, there's a new opportunity. And so everyone should be really excited about this. It's a great time to be in this business. It's fascinating. So again, Omar, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you like content like this, make sure you're subscribing to our podcast. You can also see all of the live streams.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. Leave us a review. Also, you can see all the live streams on Solozo's social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can see all of our past conversations with amazing people like Omar. Tons of great content. You'll learn a ton. And additionally, if you are selling on Amazon, in any marketplace, and advertising is a pain point, Omar can help you with that as well. We can also help you out at Solozo. We can fully automate and optimize your advertising in every single marketplace that Amazon exists in. So if you're interested, you can head over to solozo.com, schedule a demo, and you and I will be chatting all about Amazon, and I can show you the power of Solozo's platform. So solozo.com, head over there and check us out. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Omar, thanks for joining us. We will see everybody.
Thanks everyone for listening. Hope you got something good out of this. Thank